Hi, welcome to video number 2 of 3, where we are putting different types of adverts into our game. Okay, now just to remind those who watched video number 1, and for those who haven't watched video 1, I do suggest that you do watch it. But just to jog the memory, okay, what we did in video 1 is we went to the quick start guide, which is on the Unity website, and we worked our way through this, okay, which is what I'm going to assume that you've already done. Okay, again, just watch video 1 and I'll show you the main points of this and the fastest way to get things set up. And the second thing I did in video 1 is I got the example code for you, which I found on the Unity website. And you can use that, and that's what we're making reference to. Okay, now this code, just to remind you again, was available in previous versions of Unity, but not in Unity 2017. But again, as I said, you can go onto the Unity site and find it, but just take a screenshot of this for now. Okay, good. So let's move on. Okay, so where we currently stand is if we have our first version of adverts, which are skippable ads. Means that when we press that button or there's an event that triggers these ads to come on, we get this advert here, and the player can choose to watch it or skip it. Okay, good. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to modify that code, and we're going to put a timer onto it. Okay, so what that means is that nobody needs to press a button, or there doesn't need to be any event. We're going to set up a timer in the background which is going to show an advert in the game at a certain time. All right, maybe every 2 or 3 minutes you're going to show an advert to the player. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to, on our canvas, we're going to create, for our reference, while we're developing, something called an ads timer. Okay, it's a piece of text. Okay, so we've created a text called ads timer on the canvas, and we'll call it ads timer, so that equals 0. Okay, and I'm just going to modify it a little tiny bit so that it looks nice. Okay, set it to white so that we can see it, and put it out of the way up in the corner. There you go. Okay, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so as we can see it. And there we go. Looks nicer. Good. So there's some text. Okay, and it's going to display our timer value, so as we know when we're developing it if the ads are actually showing on the time that we want them to. Good. When you build your final version of the game, obviously you need to turn this off or delete it. The player doesn't need to see the timer. Okay, good. So next thing we need to do is we need to go to our ads manager, which we created in video number 1, and we're going to attach a new piece of code to it called ads timer. Okay, and this ads timer script is asking for some ad timer text. Well, we've just made that, so let's drop it in. Okay, good. So let's have a look at this script. So if we double click on ads timer in mono, we have the script. Okay, good. And yep, feel free to take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to go through it with you now. So first thing we need to do and to remember is that because we want to use the advertisements in this script, at the top we need to say use in Unity engine.advertisements. If we don't do that, the advertisements are not going to work. Okay, now what I've done here is I've set up a timer, and the timer needs two things, and I've put them as integers, ints. So I've created an int called timer, and I've set it to 0, which is 0 time, and into an int called time between ads, and I've set that at 10. That's 10 seconds. Alright, so I'll show you how that is in a moment. The next thing I did was I created this public text ads timer text and put a little note here. It's for the demo only. Obviously when you publish your game you're going to get rid of that. Okay, so it's for our reference only. Good. So in awake here we have two things happening. The first thing is that we're going to set our ad timer's text, this text here on the screen, to 0. Okay, and then we're going to do something which is start a coroutine. Okay, and this coroutine is called co-add timer, and here is the coroutine. For those of you who are not familiar with coroutines, look on the Unity website. There's resources on there to help you better understand them. I have used a coroutine for this timer because that's my preference. There are other ways of setting up timers, but I like to use timers with coroutines because here I can set my time scale. Okay, so this basically says every second run this coroutine round and round. Okay, run this piece of code here. So what does this coroutine do? Well, at the top says while true, which means it keeps running while true. Every second, every 1 second, okay, it's going to add a value of 1 to the timer. So we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. And then it says if the timer value is greater than the time between the ads, which is 10, because in my example I'm going to run an ad every 10 seconds. Now that's obviously unrealistic. People are not going to tolerate an advert every 10 seconds. So you might want to put, so if you did it like every 2 minutes, this value would be 120. 60 seconds in a minute, and 2 minutes would be 120. Right? But for purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to show an ad every 10 seconds. Alright, good. So if the timer is greater than 10 seconds, we're going to show an ad. And then we're going to reset the timer to 0, and it's going to start all over again. And of course, for our reference, we're going to update the text up here in the corner with the new value of the timer. Alright, so we can visually see if the timer is working correctly. Good. Now, let's have a look at this bit here. It says show ad. Okay, show ad. Now, this is the thing which is actually going to show the ad. I used this script in the previous video for skippable ads, and that's what this piece of code essentially does. It provides a skippable ad, and it says simply if the advertisement is ready to be displayed in your game, then we're going to show an advertisement. Okay, that's all that does. And here is the skippable ad code that I used in video 1, so you can see it's exactly the same. All I've done is I've added a timer to it. Okay, so we're not using the button anymore. We're going to use this timer to show this ad instead. Great. Okay, so let's see what happens when we do that. Good. When we're going to save our scene. Okay, file, save scene. Before we start this, what we're expecting to happen is we're expecting to see this timer increase to a value of 10, and then we're expected to see a skippable advert appear on the game screen. Okay, so let's press play and see if this works. Okay, so look at the timer. And there's our ad. Good. Close it. And one more test. and there's our skippable ad. We skipped it, don't want to watch that one. Good, and as you can see, it works as it should. So that's how things should be. And just to show you here, because I've left the button from video 1 on, you can watch the ad by pressing or by an event in the game, or you can let the timer provide one for you. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you learned something, and in the video 3, the next video, I'm going to show you how to put a third type of advertisements, which are rewarded ads. Okay, and rewarded ads are where the player chooses to to watch an advert to receive a reward. Okay, good. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you learned something. Please subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.